Hello and welcome to another one of these videos we have here on the Geek Show. Conversation about a video game. Only this time, it's only me. So today I'm going to be here on me lonesome. Don't worry, I've not killed anybody. Mark, Andrew, or Andy, whatever you want to call him, and Rob will be back in later videos. I'm here on my own today to talk about a game from EA Originals. Staple of things. EA Originals. I mean, whatever you say about EA, don't tar Originals with the same brush. Because that's sort of a little side project, a collection of independent games over at one side, which are actually trying some original stuff. There's a Way Out, which is that co-op prison escape game, which looks very interesting. I've not got a chance to play that yet. There's the upcoming Sea of Solitude, which just looks fantastic. And there is this, which is out now. I'm playing this. Yeah, it looks like I'm playing this badly, but I'm just figuring out all the controls. This is literally what happens as soon as you turn the game on. This is a FE, or Fee. Isn't that adorable? I don't know what he is, I'll be honest. Let's go with Badger Fox? Mystical Badger Fox. And the story, what it established there, it seems to be a Akami-like thing, a Echo the Dolphin-like thing. There's lots of these games, maybe not lots, but historically there's some of these games where you play like an animal, and you got to get rid of like a poisonous influence on the natural world. And here in FE, you do it as an adorable little badger fox who sings. Now, what's wrong with that, eh? And yeah, you're not like a hero in this, I guess, because you are just another animal. So I guess that does give you a bit of an easier way in, rather than you're this super. I don't know whether Echo the Dolphin was like this, because it's been so long since I played it. But like a super magical dolphin who has to save the day. I might be wrong on that, like I said, but here all you are is a fox badger that sings. And as I say, they press R2 and you sing to creatures who, let's just say, have been corrupted. Because it's the easiest way to express what's going on here. I sung to that thing. I think that's as good of a signpost as any to talk about the art direction and the design aesthetic. Because it's a pretty game, isn't it? It's not got an awful lot going on. It's quite linear but in a slightly open-ish environment. It uses purple a lot, purple and sort of whitish contrast. Which, let's be fair, there's an elephant in this room. Past Rob is he likes reading his instructions. And the map is good in the fact that it actually shows you which direction you're pointing at. And because it's not too big, it's not sort of throwing you know what I mean. You have some sort of context for where things are and where you're looking, rather than a massive map which just, it stretches what you're doing. It stretches any sort of point of reference you have in the game. But anyway, I got distracted there. I got distracted by me being terrible at pressing X and moving and singing to D's. I mean, the sound design in this is just, it's alien. That's the best way to describe it. Not alien as in E.T. or Extra or something like that. I mean, alien just as in it's not humanoid. It's not of this world. As, there we go. I got back to it. The art design. The elephant in the room, which is a funny turn of phrase considering that it's about the animal world, animal kingdom, is the Ori games. Ori and the Will-o'-the-Wisps is the new one coming up, and Alright, and the other one, and the Fiddly Diddly. I can't remember. I didn't play it. Did I give that away pretty well? But anyway, it is the elephant in the room, but there's like a key difference there. That one's 2D, and you could make the case that it has more to do with Echo the Dolphin. This one is 3D, and it's got more in line with sort of Golden Age N64 sort of platformers. Yeah, I edited that there, so it makes me look decent at the game. Sneaky thing, editing. But yeah, it's more like those N64 platformers, you know, your Banjo-Kazooies, your Jet Set Radio. There was another one whose name I can never remember. Rare put it out, it was a shooter. I haven't got his name at hand. But the jumping around, it's more like that. The way you traverse is more like that than anything Alright does, because that's just jumping from left to right. A Metroidvania style game in the true old sense. As much as I hate saying that, and I've lost my dear. But yeah, it's just nice to look at, isn't it? It's got a very simple design aesthetic, but it's also very striking. I mean, the gameplay loops, it's not asking a great deal of you. And, you know, you're talking about Alright, design-wise, yes, that is fair. But from what I've heard other people talking about Alright, it's not the easiest of games. In the way that a lot of those old Master System, SNES-ish era consoles, a lot of their games were so difficult. This, like I said, simple gameplay loops. It's not asking a lot of you. Even though I say that, I am making this game look an awful lot harder than it actually is. So, yeah, for being great at games and being a gamer. Yeah, being great. But it's these simple gameplay loops. All you gotta do is go around, sing to things, which is just adorable as a conceit on its own, and sort of get rid of the corruption and fight back against the monsters and sing to eye flowers. What you're doing there, the jagged line, is you basically you have to get on the same frequency as it, the same level as it, and you know, it gets on your level. There's also Bio, what was that name? The game, the one coming up at the end of whenever it's coming up with, where you play basically a similar designed animal, only it's more like a God of War style game in which you are a little fairy creature who has to, again, get rid of corruption. It's a funny theme that's popping up a lot in games. I'll put the name of that game, which has completely vanished out of my head, in the description below. Really should have taken a note about that, but there we go. I really should have got somebody else to play this game and get better footage from it, but I hope it's bringing the game to life for you, because I think I can explain my ineptitude on this with it's just a design aesthetic to it, like a gameplay design. I've not skipped the intro here. I've not skipped here's another bit where I've edited it to make myself look good, but here it's not describing anything. First time I walked up here, I thought, yeah, looks a bit spooky, looks moody, which, yeah, it does. Very good graphics, not good graphics, but stylized graphics. I think stylized graphics are more important than good graphics, because we are reaching sort of the bleeding point of what you can put on screen. It is becoming hyper real, and I prefer games to be games rather than representations of what is going out there in our crazy world. But yeah, it's the gameplay loops. There's some threats you don't get any introduction as to what you were doing. As the beginning of the video showed, I just sort of bashed a load of buttons and see what had happened. And he started singing, and I thought you had to do that to everything. And the more you get into the game, the more animals you get in the wavelength of. And here's what I'm doing here. It's sort of like a boss level, I guess. Where there's, if we look around there, come on, Pastrob, what you doing? Well, he's going to have a look at some murals, which again, it's not a thing which really reveals itself. I think it's more of like a subtle gameplay hint and sort of a completionist thing. I know this is a stretch of a stretch of a comparison even, but maybe, you know, this is what the people who clamour on about Dark Souls are on about. There's no hand holding. It's a totally different type of game. It's much sweeter, much more innocent, but you just discover what you're doing by wandering around. Although admittedly, in doing that, it makes the game look a little bit worse than it actually is. I mean, let's get a speedrunner in here and make it look a bit better, but even if I don't make it look as good as it possibly can do, it's still very striking. It's still a beautiful game to look at, and it's still got some sort of traditional gameplay things, even though it is lighter, it is simpler, it is more elegant and stripped back. Look, like there, that's a technical boss. There's some of those monsters that you saw earlier, and attacking. You can't see it there, but that is a giant bird. A giant bird with hands. But there you go. It's like I said, you're playing a badger fox, so it's mashing together different types of animals to do something which stands out. It's not representing reality. It's doing its own thing. It's mashing things together. It's being creative. It's being original. The simplicity is as much of a great thing about it, you know, because not many games are easy these days. It's striving for a very small niche, whereas, believe it or not, video games are for everybody. But yeah, that simplicity is a good thing, but at the same time, simplicity and easy gameplay loops are designed for people who don't want as much of a challenge, for whatever reason that might be. Let's say kids, for example. I can't see a kid, out of all the things in the world out there, all the sort of brash colours and bright designs, would look at this over, let's say, certain Nintendo games and go, yes mum, yes dad, get me FE or FE. They'd say, no, get me Super Mario Odyssey, because, you know, it's to look at, as nice as this is a style which doesn't have the sort of immediate accessibility of something like that. I like it, you know, but as I say, it reminds me of things like Echo the Dolphin, although, you know, completable. I don't think I actually did complete that. But anyway, yeah, I've babbled on enough. This is FE. I played it on PS4. It's an indie game, EA Originals. It's very good. I like it. It's kind of sweet. It's a game which you can just sort of tune out to. But yeah, thanks for watching. Head over to geekshow.co.uk. I've got all sorts of things like podcasts, reviews and all sorts. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.